explain how the DSM works. Joanna?
Lee, DSM stands for Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Disorders. Volume 5 was just published and released to psychologists this week. It's what they use to diagnose us, and even some of them are surprised by some of what's in it.
There's nothing like listening to a little bad company in good company.
David?
Jordan Beaver says it's the music, the friendly baristas, the fresh roast, and unique flavor that keep customers coming back to classic rock coffee.
We definitely have a lot of regulars.
Oh yeah, and probably the caffeine too.
I'll usually taste a shot probably every half hour to an hour.
Of course, that's purely to ensure he's mastered the mixture.
I'm making sure it tastes correct. Is technically what I'm doing, I guess.
But Jordan admits he's a bit of a coffee addict.
I was definitely a fan before starting here.
According to this book, he could seek treatment for it.
There's caffeine-related disorders. It includes caffeine intoxication, caffeine withdrawal, other caffeine-induced disorders.
Licensed psychologist Peter J. Bergs had the newest edition of his industry's Bible for just 2 days, and the controversy surrounding it has him digging right in.
I do have concern about pathologizing everyday life,
i.e. putting a label on every human behavior.
Most people would probably say they experience some physical symptoms when they don't get their caffeine fix, from being really jittery to really tired to a pretty bad headache. But do those constitute a mental disorder?
You know, if you're having a really hard emotional time getting off caffeine, maybe a mental health counselor is needed.
Jordan doesn't buy it, even when you throw in irritability.
Those sound like common human traits to me.
He says occasionally he gets some bad company, other than the band.
No, but I don't think it's because of coffee.
There are certainly some other controversial new conditions in this book and changes to conditions that were in the 4th edition. Asperger's, for example, isn't in the 5th edition. Instead, there's an autism spectrum, and those who used to be diagnosed with Asperger's will likely be considered just somewhere on the spectrum in general now. Lee.
All right, thanks, Joanna. Where this matters to you is when it comes to billing. And Jay Berg says there is a whole other book insurance companies use to determine whether